Hello, my name is Grayson Smith, and today I'm very excited to pay tribute speech to one of my favorite artists in the world, a true inspiration everywhere and anyone who got to truly understand his music, Bob Marley. A huge inspiration for his passion of love, it was everything in finding true happiness of just being alive. If you ever heard of him or listened to his music, then pay close attention while I tell the story of who he is. An example I can give on how much I truly love his music. From the age of 16, I had his signature song, Three Little Birds, as my ringtone, for as long as I can remember. Although it might get old and still send but it still sends the most powerful message of just be relaxed and be happy. I plan to inform my listeners and pay tribute to one of my music's most inspirational artists, Bob Marley, by explaining who he was, what he did with his music, and how he impacted the world. Allow me to move on to my first main point, explaining who this man is. Bob Marley was a passionate believer in happiness and music. His real name being Robert Nesta Marley, he was born February 6, 1945 in Jamaica. He was considered to be one of the pioneers of the music style reggae. His music style was marked by blending elements of reggae, ska, and rocksteady, as well as forging a smooth, distinctive vocal and songwriting style. Sadly enough, Bob Marley passed away on May 11, 1981, and will forever be missed. Bob Marley's music was derived from firmly rooted, committed to Rastafarian beliefs, and its attendant lifestyle. The combination of his own inquisitiveness and the profound depth and influence of the Rastafarian movement transformed Bob Marley into the artist we know today. His music of the world history, says Kylie McKetty, president of Brooklyn, New York, based on correlation to preserve reggae music. Being known for mainly just smoking a lot of weed, Bob Marley also loved the sport of football. The politically correct term soccer, he had a passionate love for the sport. He said he loved it mostly because it took a lot of skill to play, and it was truly life. With limited time, I could go on and on about Bob Marley and who he was for hours, but I must move on to my next point on what he did with his music. Bob Marley's music was different, and it impacted the listeners in a way they could have never forsaken. While he did not have a farewell as a solo artist, Marley found some success joining forces with his friends. In 1963, Marley, Livingston, and McClunish formed the Wailing Wailers. The first single, Simmer Down, went to the top of the Jamaican charts in January of 1964. By this time, the group also included Junior Betty White, Beverly Kelso, and Cherry Smith. The funny thing was Marley's music was never recognized with a Grammy nomination. But in 2001, they bestowed with a Grammy of the Lifetime Achievement Award for his music relapsed in his legacy. Marley managed to generate over 20 hit songs, including Three Little Birds, No Woman, No Cry, and Buffalo Soldier, including many more, more selling over 20 million records. Bob Marley's music went beyond world famous well after his death, and his passion did much more than how he affected the world and who he was. Bob Marley on how he impacted the world. You can find Rasta dreaded Jamaican's face on anything that has to do with smoking weed, but not only was that the most famous trait he slandered for living life of pure happiness. While he was never found materialistic things, he didn't care for money, just pure joy of getting high and making music. He didn't care if you liked it or not, he enjoyed what he did and wouldn't stop for anyone. The philosophy he lived by was just don't worry, be happy. A famous quote from Bob himself, including it in one of his hit songs. A quote from him, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. Bob Marley. With so much more I could add, I would like to come to my final conclusion on behalf of Bob Marley. Overall, I can't tell you how much of an inspiration he was, and so happy that I got to live the life, he got to live the life he wanted. So I explained about who he was, what he accomplished within his music, and how big of an inspiration he was. I hope you can find him as inspirational as I have. Thank you.